Hi everyone, I'm Theresa, and each month I check in with the angels to see what advice they have about what we as sensitive spiritual people are experiencing here on planet Earth. And for June, the angels really want to thank us and have us take a moment to pause and see how much work we've really been doing to affect change. Every single thing that we do to make our lives better, to make ourselves better, and to move deeper into our spirituality actually sends a ripple effect around the planet and allows that energy to be accessible to other people who are looking to create similar things in their life. So they just want us to take a pause and acknowledge ourselves for everything we've done until this point. May had a really big shift for us in the amount of love and light energy we could feel coming into this planet. This is going to continue. And for us in June, the angels are saying it's super important to remember to create the space for fun and joy. What the angels want us to talk about is the energetic of joy and fun. Now, joy is the absolute highest vibration energy that we can hold here in this incarnation at this time. So the angels want us to remember that, and to remember that it is part of our job to bring ourselves into that state of joy, and also to give ourselves a break from all of the work we're doing, because we don't want our spiritual work to start to feel just like work. We don't want to feel that we're climbing uphill all the time. We don't want to feel that this isn't something we want to continue. We need to take a breath and take a pause. Up until recently, we've looked at our expansion and our soul's growth in a way that had us running uphill on a treadmill, really spending a lot of time immersed in the learning and the expanding. And then what would happen is we'd get to a point where we just couldn't go anymore, and it would be like a plateau. So we'd be going up and we'd plateau off and just have to crash, rest, and allow for the integration and the expansion to take root in our system, because our spiritual body would move at a faster pace than our mental and emotional bodies, which would move at a faster pace often than our physical body. So this would be a time of all of our energies catching up to each other so that we could now hold this new vibration and function from this new place. That is no longer necessary. So many of us are still operating from that old programming because we don't know how to really function in the new way right now. So this is something that's integrating more and more this month. This is a divine dispensation of sorts, and the angels are so willing to have us work with them to help this to be a process that's filled with much more ease and grace. Now, having some fun is absolutely a great way to allow this process to happen in the background, because when we're having fun, we're in a very high vibration energy where all of this stuff can just happen, and then when we're done having fun, we're integrated. So this is a quick way for us to take care of some of this work. So many people I've been talking to recently have no idea what to do for fun. They don't know how to function in joy. They don't know what they even like to do. So this is a time to really think back to when you were a child. What was it that before you got called to be more responsible, which was very early for a lot of us, what did you like to do? What was it that you would spend your time on if you just had free time? Was it just laying on your back looking up at the clouds? Was it drawing? Was it painting? Was it running around? Think back to that time and you'll have some idea of what it is you truly would enjoy. During my preparation for this video, the angels led me to a passage of writing from Saint Theresa of Avila, who lived in, or she actually wrote this writing in the late 1500s. And she was already, at that point, which this was not new, speaking about the necessity for fun if you are someone who has an intense spiritual practice. So I'm going to read to you just really briefly from the Interior Castle, where she says, "Take my advice. If you start to feel this swooning, this spiritual overwhelm, tell your spiritual guide, then try to do something just for fun." And this is where a lot of us are. We've been putting so much time into the spiritual growth and evolution that until recently we felt a little bit depleted. So this is what this energetic upshift is for us. Remember what happens when we spend all of our time working and not playing. We just become dull, we become tired, we become gray, as opposed to being vibrant and filled with color. The other thing that starts to happen is our creativity becomes blocked because we keep pushing it off for some later time. And or we will spend time in doing creative activities that are led by somebody else. So we're being creative within someone else's framework. So our own systems are often calling to us to be more creative, to open that aspect of ourselves so that our intuitive guidance can start to come in more. Because when our creative self is more open and we're more in tune with that energetic flow, that is when our intuitive self, our guidance, our angels can get to us even more. So many people have been talking about the fear of going into their creativity. And this is a common fear for light workers and for love warriors and for highly spiritual sensitives, because this is a place where our zone of genius is very often. So we've told ourselves the stories of we are not creative, we can't sing, we're not good at drawing or painting, just to keep ourselves from going there and immersing ourselves in the fullness of our power. The angels are saying that we are so afraid of being in our entirety, in all of our power, in this free flowing state of grace, that we will tell ourselves these stories or adopt these stories that other people have passed on to us. Another aspect of this is that we're afraid of opening these floodgates because we've heard stories of people getting completely swept away in their artistic ability and like becoming completely ungrounded and just out of touch with what's going on in quote unquote reality. So some of us have so much of a hard time getting grounded as it is that we're afraid if we move more into our creativity, this will exacerbate that problem. And the angels are saying that is not the energy that we're in right now. This creative flow is a necessity for us to be showing up in the world the way that we want to be the change, to hold the energy that we know we're here to hold. We may actually move into that place of fervent love for the divine, but it will actually help us in grounding ourselves into our day-to-day tasks because we will be serving other people. We will be bringing that energy in as an act of service. So in June, as you noticed yourself having the desire to dance, to sing, to just do something for fun, do it, because this is your intuitive self speaking to you about opening your creativity. These are your angelic helpers speaking to you about what is needed in your life in order to create flow. And we've seen this very often when we try to force something to happen in our lives. That energy of attachment and grasping really puts a kink in the hose of flow, of abundance, of ease and grace. So when we sort of step back and take a breath and allow this thing that we want to create to have some breathing room because we've let go. And this is so much of what's going to be happening for us, especially towards the end of the month. The energetics that we've put into manifestation of things, that we've put into the desire for things in our own lives and for the whole of the planet will actually have more momentum as we start to allow ourselves to take that breathing room and separate from them a little bit to do something that just feeds us because it doesn't have to feed us for any reason other than we are going to enjoy doing it. When we do nothing but work, this surplus of energy does not exist. So we need to remember that even if we enjoy our work, which a lot of us do, we love what we're doing, and so we want to do more and more of it. If we don't take that time away from it, we can actually have the effect of having a strangling effect on the energetic flow of our work. So it's really necessary for us to take just a little bit of time and space to nurture ourselves, allow our work to nurture itself, and then come back together in a way where we are both well-sourced and can meet and work from that place. So for the month of June, the message is have fun. Do something for your own enjoyment. Do some things to get yourself back to the state of joy, to allow yourself to separate, take a breath, so that you're not just working, you're not just focusing on being the change, being the change, being the change. You can actually be the change. So this is the difference for us this month. Our intuitive hits, the downloads, the messages, the ability to receive and process those is increasing. It's becoming much more instantaneous. So when we have this space that having some fun creates, we actually have the ability to receive and process those bits of information, those really important pieces of who we are and what we're here to do much more quickly. So we don't have to wait as long to get the memo. It's coming much more quickly, but we need to create the time and the space in our life to be able to receive and process those things. And that can only happen when our creativity is open, when we're in a space of fun and joy. And remember, that's where the angels exist. The angels exist in this vibration of joy, of peace, and they're experiencing through us as well. So they really want us to have the full experience of being here. And that feels like it for this month. This is a very joy-filled message, but it is a lot. So the angels encourage you to come back to this video at some point in the month if it feels like you want to listen again and feel the message differently from where you are at that point in time. Please feel free to share in the comments what resonated for you in this month's message. And also feel free to share with others who you know would benefit from hearing what the angels have to say and would benefit from feeling the energy that comes through these messages. If you feel ready for your own personal angel reading and would like to spend some time with their energy getting your own questions answered and getting clarity on your own path, please click the link below and it will take you to the information about how to book your own personal reading with me and your angels. I look forward to speaking with you and being here with you again soon. Have a great day, everybody.